Hello everyone and welcome back to Minecraft. I'm trying to decide what I want to do with this tunnel because do I want to keep the water? It'll be one deep water if I do. I kind of want to keep the water, so I'm going to try it. So pick the I can't pick the grass because I'm underneath glass. Just thank you. I mean, I'm going to replace this with other blocks later anyway. Now I need to clear out the water. Well, that's easy. That's precisely why I keep my sponges in here. And let's just fill this in. I'll worry about the block palette later. Okay. So, this tunnel goes, well, I'm not going to tell you where it goes. You can probably tell because you'll have seen that that's up there. So you know what pool of water I'm underneath. But there are some plans for this tunnel. My main plan for this episode is to work on the Redstone Museum. It'll probably be a short one because I'm not going to go through exhaustively all the stuff I'm putting in there. So this might be a ridiculously short episode, I don't know. But things are really winding down. We've got a confirmed date for our reset. So I'm just trying to wrap things up a bit, basically. So this tunnel, let's see, it's going to be a one wide tunnel. Not the best, but yeah. The walls, let's see, I need to take out an extra block all along here. Here? Yeah, that's right. And then in the walls it's going to be the red. I needed about 4.5 stacks of this by my calculations. I've got about 4.5 stacks left over, so that's worked out pretty well. And then in front of that will be stairs like that. And iron bars. And you should recognise this block palette. The slabs, the andesite, the iron bars, and the well, stone brick? Is there any stone brick in there? I suppose there isn't. I don't know. But that's what I'm going with. I'm just going to poke up to the surface a minute and show you something else I've done between episodes. If I can get a lift off, thank you. I've done these two bridges here. This one and that one. So this one's in the style of the Hall of Heads, and that one's in the style of the Redstone Museum. Pretty much. Will you guys shut up? So yeah, that's what I'm working on at the moment. So yeah, there's no stone brick in there, is there? But there's stone brick in the bridge, so it's still. Anyway, continuing on. So, where does this tunnel go, I hear you ask? Well, the answer to that is quite simple. Back when I first designed the Hall of Heads, right back at the start of this world, I planned to have a redstone torch key hidden in here. Originally, it was going to open up in the fountain in the middle, but I changed my mind. It's here. And that leads down to the tunnel, which I've finished. Here, where it's under the water, I've recessed the lights into the walls so that it's just light enough, but to minimise the amount of light leaking out. And then at this end, this is actually part of an exhibit because this comes out in the Redstone Museum. And I have dug a hole in preparation for one of Mumbo Jumbo's more elaborate hidden staircases, which will be triggered with a redstone torch key at this end. So, interactive exhibits once again. So I need to get this thing built, which I'm going to do off camera because it is fairly complex. So it'd be really boring to sit through me doing it. I can't really decide. I think I'm going to go with the sea lanterns. The redstone lamps kind of go with the floor more, but it's a lot of texture. And it's a pain to power them all. So I think I'm going to go with sea lanterns. So that is done. I've also been working on, well, I've put all this stuff around the edge. This is pretty much every redstone component. I don't think I've missed anything. It all fit quite neatly up until here, where these are slightly closer together because this was sticking out. And then I remembered I'd forgotten the rails and slime block, so they're just here. I could include normal rails because they do interact with redstone, but meh. And then the other thing I've done is I've gone around, I've pushed this land back here so that it's a lot flatter. I've also gone around and patched up the walls on the foundation of the build so they're all stone. So, the way this works is we have a redstone torch key which you can see the workings for underneath. That opens up this. Now this is one of Mumbo's designs and it's got this hole in the wall where blocks go. And he didn't do a tutorial for this one, he just did the world download because he didn't really like that hole. But I've made use of it, I've made it into glass so that you can actually see some of the redstone, which I think is nice, as long as you don't stand there for too long because then you'll get stuck when it closes. Down here we've got the redstone torch key comes in down here. So there's the block that the repeater's going into, and that just feeds down here and into this comparator pulse extender. The button at the bottom of the stairs again comes around into the pulse extender. Probably ought to put a repeater there actually. Yeah, I should put a repeater there. And then this just comes up and around and into the input block. So this is the build. It's like a 7x7x6 hole that I dug to put it in. So that's all done. Let's fill that in. And there was another hole, wasn't there? I could have sworn there was another hole in the floor somewhere. No? Huh. I'm sure there was a polished underside missing. Weird. Maybe I filled it in at some other point. But then if we go through this, we have the tunnel here, which you've seen obviously. And then at the other end of the tunnel there's a sign to tell you, pillar between Sorceror, bring your own redstone torch. I still need to patch up the ground here, but that's all stuff I'll do. I'll do another episode before the end of the world that's literally just doing some cleanup, flattening out this land a bit, getting rid of these stone borders that I haven't built the museums for, that sort of thing. Just making the place look presentable. Probably finishing off the entrances, that sort of thing. I also filled in the pond that was here. So next I'm going to start filling this with some redstone builds. I'm hoping to get rid of all the torches. I'll be using the sea lanterns outlining each build to light the place up. That's the idea. And that will then probably be it for this episode, so it's likely to be a really short one. And we're done. as you can see, I went for a white concrete floor space under each one, and that goes well with the sea lanterns. So we started off with the basic Boolean logic gates, so AND, or exclusive or and not. I originally put in NAND and NOR, but then I thought they're just inverted ones, don't waste the space on them. And then we've got a monostable circuit. We've got a pulse limiter going into a T flip-flop. This is pretty much the order I built them in, by the way, that I'm going through. Comparative pulse extender, the etho hopper clock, two-bit randomizer, which has just got the non-stackable and stackable item in it, RS NOR latch, and an ABBA circuit, and a block swapper. So this is where I started getting from circuits into contraptions. So I've got a simple block swapper here, and then we've got the Jeb door, and then I branched out a bit more, and we've got the Ilmango design for an automatic water bucket filler, which I can demonstrate. Just empty that into there, put that in there, and there it is. And finally, Jade suggested a sheep cooker. Not that Jade has it in for sheep at all, in the slightest, even a tiny bit, ever. Cough. So that was just to fill the last space. It's the right size. This is Mumbo's design. It's a really old design, but still works. And yeah, that's it. I've actually completed the redstone well, apart from the fact that I still need to move her. But other than that, I've actually completed the Redstone Museum. 100%, it's done. I'm not going to put any more into it. It's finished. I'm really happy about that. There's a glass ceiling above this because I thought, yeah, I don't want the risk of lightning hitting it. I mean, it would be just my luck that I had so much trouble getting lightning to hit a creeper on this area of land. But the moment I leave a TNT unattended, oh, lightning would be like, I went on that. But yeah, that is it. This is risking it. This is still here. Should probably like take it to a base or something, or leave it in a box in town because we've got post boxes. There, that's it. That is the Redstone Museum. All done. That looks cool. I like it. So, if you've enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like, share, favourite, and comment, helps support the channel. Follow me on Twitter to stay up to date what's going on, and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. It will probably just be tidying up, moving her into the biome, moving the slimes in, and putting a snow golem in the Arctic one. That way, apart from the silverfish, every habitat will have at least one mob in it. I mean, granted, the only mob in the end one is an endermite, but have I shown you that I've got the endermite in? I don't think I have. But it'll be something. Stuff will be in, at least. Where is it? I put black glass in, you can barely see it, which is the point, but I put black glass in so that this is only a block down. There it is. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.